Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So that I'll be ready to thrust or burn when the time comes. 55 seconds out. You can also time warp as long as you're outside of the atmosphere. You do that with the you can do it by clicking up here or with the greater than less than keys. That's a bug where it does that. I'm time warping at 5x. Alright, I'm 10 seconds out. And wait for it. Wait for it. Burning. Now we're going to look at the map. So you can see there's our apoapsis. It is slightly behind us. That should be okay. And my orbit is circularizing. Go ahead and angle just a bit more downwards. Oops, I've gone significantly past it. I did not mean to do that. But it should still be okay. Watching my periapsis here now. Okay. Periapsis is coming up. Okay. Throttling down a bit so we can better control it. Our apoapsis is rising now, which is something we don't really want. Okay. Just gonna cut that there. Apoapsis has gone far above what we wanted, and we're almost out of fuel for this stage. But we are in a sustainable orbit. It's just not even. Our periapsis is 96 kilometers, our apoapsis is 171 kilometers. So we need to circularize that. We are about 85 seconds out from our periapsis, right there. So when we get there, we need to burn in reverse. We need to burn away from our heading to bring our apoapsis down. So, I'm not actually using my RCS thrusters right now, by the way. I just don't need to. I'm going to go ahead and spin my rocket around. Whoop, very carefully. Whoop. Okay, and that ball, that circle with the X in it, is the opposite of your crap. I've lost control of my ship for a second there. That green ball with the X in it is the opposite of your heading. If you burn towards that, you're slowing down. And as I'll show you, there, perfect. Okay, just a few seconds out, and as I'll show you, burning opposite your heading will bring down the orbit on the other side of the body you're orbiting. Cut it. 96 and 94. You can see how quickly that got brought down. It's a bit below the 100 kilometers that I wanted, but a few kilometer margin of error. I'm not really worried about that. I call this successful. So here we are in orbit. We have just a little bit of fuel left in our ascent stage. This is really cool. See, it's very nice. I didn't even have to use this orbital stage to get into orbit. I could have probably made orbit with only stacks of 3 tanks instead of 4, but I wanted that safety. I wanted that safety zone, that margin for error. All right. Now what we're gonna do is to keep a clean space. We're gonna try to deorbit and make our ascent stage go back into the atmosphere. So I'm going to burn opposite to my heading once more and try to bring the opposite side of my orbit down into the atmosphere. So, and that was a success. My periapsis is now at 32 kilometers. So this stage will experience atmospheric drag, and it will smash into the land or the water or something, and keep Kerbin's orbit clean. All right, now I'm going to jettison, activate this engine, and bring my periapsis slowly down. Cut it. Where is my periapsis? It's right there. Bring it down the rest of the way. Okay, my periapsis is now inside Kerbin. And which direction am I heading? I'm heading in this direction, so I'm going to splash down in the ocean. Wonderful, and I just barely used any fuel from this. You can see how little delta V that requires. Now let's speed up time to get us back to the atmosphere. Unfortunately, you cannot time warp inside of the atmosphere. Forgive that beep beeping. That's Skype. People talking to me on Skype. Unfortunately, you cannot time warp inside the atmosphere. So we're essentially just left adrift here. And ever so slowly, or more like, let's see, how long until we land? Maybe this will tell me. Nope, that doesn't tell me how long until I touch down either. Time. It's going to be a few minutes before I splash down. And actually, no, let's not, because, yeah, I might actually hit... Oh, I wish that would quit! I can't stop it because Kerbal Space Program crashes whenever I Alt-Tab out of it. So yeah, let's burn just a little bit. Okay, there. Quit that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there's really nothing to do here. We're just going to jettison this other stage. And then, oops, I did that wrong. I should have been facing the other way. I should have been facing the other way because now I'm like spinning for my life. I always mess this up because we need to have that be out of our path. No, actually, that's wrong. I'll go ahead and deploy my parachute, although it won't actually deploy until when is it that it deploys? 15,000 meters, I believe. Yes, nothing is actually going on here right now. We're just coming in for our touchdown. This is the really boring bit, because used to be, in the previous version of Kerbal Space Program, you could time warp 2 times in the atmosphere, but they removed 2 times time warp and replaced it with, what is this? I think it's 10,000 times time warp, and made the slowest time warp 5 times, so you can't time warp in the atmosphere anymore, and that's a shame, because just drifting through the atmosphere like this is so boring, and it does actually look like the atmospheric drag is going to put us onto land, which that shouldn't be that big of a problem. We'll touch down very gently with that parachute. Yeah, this is gonna be okay. And I actually did that right, having the stage, the rocket behind me, or in front of me, actually, because if it's behind you, then when your parachute deploys, and you just slow down extremely quickly, you could hit it, and that would suck. This is actually the first time I've done a tutorial for anything in my life. So, I hope I did alright there. I'm no Scott Manley, but I hope that I explained the concept of delta V. There we go. Okay, at like 22,000 meters. I hope I explained the concept of delta V well enough. Because if you want to go really in depth with your knowledge of spaceflight and astrophysics, the Mr. Scott Manley, who also makes Kerbal Space Program videos, goes so in depth with that. I believe the man used to be an astrophysicist, actually. So he has studied delta V in a college somewhere, and I read the Wikipedia page about delta V. Alright, here we go. At about 1,500 or 2,000 meters, the parachute will deploy fully, and then the command pod will drift gently down to Kerbin. There we go. Come on. You're waiting a while there, parachute. You wanna deploy anytime soon? Oh, there we go. Whew, that was kind of scary. I kind of forget when things like that deploy, to be honest. But yes, now it's just a gentle drift down to the ground at 6.3 meters per second. And there's Skype again. Or how's that go? I can't make that little sound with my mouth. Too difficult for me. Just a little bit more. Ground's right there. I wish that would stop. But I can't do anything about it. Like I said, the game will crash if I alt-tab out to close Skype. And then you won't get your lovely video from the most competent of commentators. But there we have it. A successful landing. All that's left is the parachute, the command pod, and MechJeb. So we're going to go ahead and end the flight. Here's our statistics. Everything went perfectly. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to Kerbal Space Program, I hope you learned something from this video. Now, get out there and make your own rockets. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe to me. I'd really like that. It would make me a very happy camper. Anyway, yes. Love y'all. Peace out.